back to my channel, everyone. Today I'll be reviewing Avengers Infinity War from 2018. Before we begin, if you like this video, you can subscribe. You don't have to. And my goal by the end of the year is 40 subscribers, so it would mean a lot if you help me out. And let's just get on with the review. For the good, I have a lot of good things to say about this film, specifically the emotion and the plot lines. I think Thanos is a good main character, and he's one of my favorite characters of all time. I really like the plot line that it went with. A lot of great characters, including Spider-Man. Tom Holland's portrayal is awesome. Definitely my favorite Spider-Man. Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. once again delivers an excellent portrayal of him. And overall, I really like this movie. It's like top five favorite movies of all time for me. I really do like this movie. The plot lines are a lot more complex, in my opinion, than the first two directed by Joss Whedon, and I think that's a good thing, as the Marvel Cinematic Universe really expands on the universe, in my opinion. And Thanos, as I said, is a great villain. He has a great motivation, and he's sort of like the main character of this film. And it's interesting to see a villain's perspective on the world. For the first two, it focused on the heroes, but this one, it really focuses and goes in deep why Thanos wants to do what he does. And I think that's really important, and it's one of the reasons why Thanos, in my opinion, has to be the best MCU villain. Yeah, I'm excited for Phase 4 and hope to see some even greater villains, but Thanos as a villain, I don't think they'll be able to top that. Infinity War is just an awesome movie. The action sequences are awesome, and who could forget the Bring Me Thanos moment. Now we have the bad, and for me, I have one little flaw, is that Captain America barely appears in this movie. If you saw my top 10 favorite characters of all time, Captain America made my number one. And I was very disappointed when I found out that, well, Captain America only appeared for like 10 minutes of the movie. I love Captain America's character, and I really hoped that he would appear a little more. He did get one cool intro scene, and that's one of my favorite Cap moments. It was pretty awesome, but that's it. So I did want Captain America to appear a little more, but that's my only flaw with the movie. Other than that, I really, really love Infinity War, and it's, for me, top 5 movies of all time. Finally, we have the acts. For me, Act 1 is a fantastic first act. We start off with a bang. We get so many awesome scenes. We get introducing the characters and making them cross over, which I think they did perfectly. There were so many great scenes. There was Doctor Strange, Peter Parker getting his new suit, just Iron Man, just fighting bad guys, Cap's awesome intro. There's so many awesome scenes in the first act, and I love it. The second act, I think, is also quite good, but it never really tops the first act. I would say it's around the same level. Like, we do get action, but it is a little bit slow, but nonetheless, I really enjoy the second act. And in this act, we get to really see the Infinity Stones and how they affect the universe and learn more about the Marvel lore. For some people, that's like the most interesting in the world, but for me, I'm not that interested in the lore, and I just want to see an entertaining movie. It was pretty interesting, though, and I really enjoyed the second act. And the third act, for me, is definitely my favorite. The Battle of Wakanda, Bring Me Thanos, the Snap are all, like, great moments. They're, like, and those moments are what makes, well, this movie good, in my opinion. I think that the final battle is awesome, and one of my favorite final acts. Not quite as good as Endgame for me, but it's still like top 3 for me. And Act 1 would get a 8.5 out of 10. Act 2 would get around an 8.5 out of 10, and Act 3 would get a 10 out of 10. Now we have the final score. Even though I wish there was a little bit more Captain America, well, overall, it's one of my favorite movies of all time, and I really enjoy watching it. It's an awesome movie. There's so many great moments, and it's definitely a very complex and heart-moving, emotional movie for me. And for that, it's just one of my favorite movies of all time, and it deserves a 100%.